What's up, Wizards? It's Dev from the SBMTG. You know me. And I've got another deck for you here today. I've been talking about this for a week or so, and I've been testing it and working out the kinks and such, which there are still possibly some kinks. But we're going to talk about Jund today, something that a couple of people have been pretty excited for. And me too, because I have always loved Jund. I long for the glory days of Falconwrath Aristocrat and Gunmaster and all that. So, cards that I miss, and this deck I made in the spirit of that deck. So, let's give it a shot. Let's try. Let's find out what we have here with the Jund. Well, let's run into creatures real quick. We've got, eight 2-drops in this deck, no 1-drops. We're going to start with 3 copies of Sylvan Caryatid. Now, obviously, 3-color deck, you need this good early speed bump, blocks a lot of things and doesn't get removed. Sylvan Caryatid doesn't need much explanation. We're going to run 4 copies of Satyr Wayfinder. I bet you know why. There's really no reason to explain this either because we're playing with Barabos. We're only playing 1 Commune with the Gods. I'll get to that a little bit later, but we are running the standard 4 copies of our buddy here, the Wayfinder. We're going to run 1 silver bullet copy of Den Protector. Now, it's actually, like I've said before, this does so much work for you, and is a good card. So I'm just doing the 1 copy. I'm tempted to put a copy in the board here, but we'll see. We'll see about that. I do really like Den Protector, though. Probably more than I should. I'll admit to that. But it is a more than fine card. It often just gets the removal out of the graveyard that you've already used. Target another guy. We're running 3 copies of another pretty familiar dude. This is Courser of Kruphix. If you haven't met this guy yet, where the F have you been? This is Courser of Kruphix, and he just does the things. Let's get into the higher dollar stuff here. We've got 3 copies of Stonebreath Dragon. He's been a major player for a couple of years now, and this is no different. We're running Jund. So we like our big mid-rangey dudes that are hella splashy and just win the game. And, you know, Stormbreath has been that for like 2 years, and I don't see any reason for him not to be that in this deck. We're running 2 copies of an all-star in this deck. This is Sidisi Undead Vizier, ladies and gentlemen. This card is crazy. We've seen lots of play with him already in his super early TTK format, and there's a reason for that, because he leaves behind a 4/6 Death Touch body on the ground, and you go get whatever the hell you want out of your deck. Usually it's going to be removal, 9 times out of 10, but there's other times where you play your Sidisi and you go get, you know, a Hornet Queen or something like that. And you play like 2 successive threats and really put pressure on them, and it's hard to deal with, honestly. So Sidisi, for many even more reasons than I've outlined here, is a card you really want to play in the deck. And if I had to pick a most important creature in the deck, it would either be Sidisi or maybe Tasigur, but I'm leaning towards Sidisi, honestly. We're running 1 copy of the Hornet Queen. The Queen of the Hornets. Again, there are definitely more copies on the board here, but Hornet Queen just does so many good things. Now, we're not doing crazy Nykthos stuff, so we can still hardcast her later on with really not much trouble at all. We probably, definitely, certainly will make it to the later stages of the game against a lot of things, and Hornet Queen is just unbelievably dumb against Abzan and every aggro strategy. So I'm playing Hornet Queen. Hopefully you won't begrudge me that. We're running 2 copies of Tasigur, the Golden Fang. I think I did that out of order. We're running 2 copies of Tasigur, the Golden Fang. Again, he just does all the things. He's been crazy in Standard for 2 months now. So crazy that the camera shook. That's how good he is. Tasigur is dumb. When you get him out, he'll do even more stuff for you in this deck, and he's super easy to get out. We do have quite a few little removal pieces that we'll be using early game to fill up our graveyard. We've got fetch lands, so Tasigur, pretty stock, I would say, a decision in something like this, and he's no worse here than he is anywhere else. Tasigur's crazy. And finally, in the creatures, we're going to round it out with 1 copy of Dragonlord Atarka, which I apologize for. No, this card's crazy. You whip this guy into play, and you win the game. More or less win. You know, you hit something or a bunch of stuff for a total of 5. You swing 8, you get the lifelink, and you've just swung 16 points of life and killed some stuff. If you played your cards right, literally. So, Dragonlord Atarka. This started off as 2 copies, but as I remembered, like, oh yeah, Tasigur's good. Oh yeah, Stormbreath Dragon's really good. Oh, there's Hornet Queen. Like, there's really good creatures for Jund in the format right now, and Atarka's one of them. So I'm just going to run the 1 copy of him. Let's go to our spells. We're running 15 spells all together, and they more or less all remove creatures. A couple of them don't, but we'll just run over that right now. Running 2 copies of Wild Slash, just wilding out with Nick Cannon here because we have to survive early aggro strategies. And this is cool to go over the dome against control once you just need those last couple of points of damage. But mostly it is for early game strategies that will run you over if you don't look out. The format is very fast as far as the aggro decks in the format right now, so you have to have something. And it started off as 1 copy of Wild Slash, but I think 2 serves us better against all of the aggro in the format. There's kind of still so much for it to be this late in the format. We're running the 1 copy of, what is it? What is a stupid card? Ultimate Price, which has been around forever, and I love the cards. I don't know why I blanked on it just now. Ultimate Price is fantastic. That's it. You know, most blue-black control will run 1 copy, or maybe 2 even, of this. And we're no different. We're not a control deck or anything, but when you run across Ultimate Price, when you top deck it, it's a fantastic card. Will almost always have a target. Is nearly never dead. That's why we're only wanting the 1 copy, though, because we want to be smart about Ultimate Price. We're going to run 3 copies of Hero's Downfall, the opposite of Ultimate Price, and then you can just kill whatever you want with this thing. That's why we're running 3. Now, the 2 black mana is slightly intensive, obviously, but we have to run just, you know, unconditional removal in a deck like this, and Hero's Downfall is the best in the format when it comes to that. So, 3 copies of HD in the 1080p. We're going with 1 main deck copy of Bile Blight. This works very well against a lot of the aggro variants in the format, especially the red, white, and Jeskai token strategies. I don't have to tell you why. Bile Blight is always good and will always find a target. You're going to want to play Bile Blight. We're just going to play 1 copy of Commune with the Gods here, because Whip actually isn't like this huge part of our strategy. We're not trying to play to whip some huge guy in on the 4th or 5th turn. That's not necessarily what we're trying to do, and when it happens, it's awesome. But Whip will create incredible advantage for you later on in the game, mostly because of lifelink. And if they remove your huge dudes, you get 1 more shot at them, and a lot of times that's all you need. So Commune with the Gods is something that we don't need to overplay, because Whip isn't the strategy in this deck. It's one of them, and I hope we're not spreading too thin here, but in testing so far, just having 1 whip out, I mean, obviously, just having 1 whip out and, you know, just getting 1 or 2 maybe even guys over the course of the game back in is all we need to swing it. We don't need to constantly be getting huge dudes out of the graveyard. It just creates this incremental advantage for us instead of being our entire game plan. So we're playing 1 Commune with the Gods in this deck, and it's good when you get it, don't get me wrong, but we just don't want to dump all of our premium stuff in the graveyard because we don't have a way of 4 shiz getting it out. With that, like I said, I might as well go ahead and say we're playing 2 copies of Whip of Erebos. I've been over this like twice already in this deck tech. Whip of Erebos is incremental advantage. It's not the entire strategy that I just said. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it here other than to say that you can get Whip out. And, I mean, well, why don't I even have to say that? Like, we've been playing with Whip of Erebos for almost 2 years now. It's a good card. Play this card. Let's veer off the beaten path a little bit and play 1 copy of a card that I have not heard people really talking about. But I like this card some, so I wanted to try it in this deck. This is 1 copy of Foul Renewal. Foul Renewal, brand new card. Instant speed. You get a guy out of the graveyard, so, yeah. I'd say this card replaces itself in your hand. Well, replaces itself and in your hand and kills a guy. It's not a total 2 for 1. It's a 1 for none, basically. I really like Foul Renewal, and I have played it in testing and gotten a Courser back. So I can't say that we're going to play all the copies of Foul Renewal, but we're going to play the 1 because when you do play it, it can really be bomby. Honestly, like, I want more people to be talking about Foul Renewal. The card is better than it looks, honestly. If you can just get a guy, just getting the guy out of the graveyard is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Value. We're playing 1 copy of Murderous Cut in this main here. Murderous Cut is good. It's good. We got 2 copies of Crux of Fate because we need our board wipe, at least in the main deck here. We got 1 more in the sideboard. But Crux of Fate, again, I mean, most of the spells in this deck are removal for the early game. We want to wipe the board 4th to 5th turn and just start over from there. And Crux of Fate is the 1 card in the format right now, other than maybe Anger of the Gods, but that's in the board. That's going to really, really allow us to do that. So we have to play 2 copies. And to round out the spells, let's go with something that we don't have to play a copy of, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm bold and adventurous. I want to know. We're playing one copy of Damnable Pact. A lot of people probably going to disagree with this, but Damnable Pact, we're a very, honestly, obviously, mid-range deck. So if we have the life to spare later on in the game, we want to draw 3 cards. And if we've gotten them down to 5 life, then we can just burn them out for the rest of it here at the end of the game. There are other ways to do that. Obviously, we've got Wild Slash in here. But Damnable Pact, man, you just need that last 4, 5, 6 points of damage in the very late game. Damnable Pact will do that for you and do it very well. We played Profane Command, 4 or 5 years ago, and now we can play Pact. And I'm not saying that it's the best card ever and that we always want to play it, but so far, I really liked it. Let me know how you feel, because I think this is probably the most arguable thing in the deck. And I think this is one of the more arguable decks that I've ever made on this channel. Honestly, there are so many things that could go into Jund right now. So many ways it could be built. It could be a ramp deck, it could be a reanimator deck, it could be a control deck, it could be a mid-range deck. And we've done a little bit of all of that here. We got some reanimation strategy, we got some control, we've got some mid-range, So let us know if maybe we're spread too thin, which I don't actually think. I think we strike a healthy balance, to be honest. We need a lot of the control aspects, and after we hit those control aspects, the reanimator is really good. We can just play, we can hard cast most of our huge dudes very easily. So let me know what you think here about this Jund build in the comments section below. Well, everybody, that is my take on Yund, or Jund, if you want to say it the wrong way. This was a super fun deck to build, and I built it for like a week, and it went through probably 7 different variations before I settled on this very mid-rangey thing we see here before us. So let me know how you feel about Jund, how you would change it, because there are definitely some flexible slots in this deck, if nothing else. So I'll see you guys next time, man. I'm Dev from SBMTG. Remember to comment down there in the thing where there's a comment section. Like, share, subscribe. It takes 2 seconds to do any of these things, and it really helps us out a lot, and we're able to deliver better content. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching, you guys, and appreciate all your support lately. Thank you very much from Strictly Better MTG. I'm the Dev, and I will see you kids next time.